Have you laid some laminate flooring and now you're wondering how to finish it off around those edges? Like where your laminate flooring meets tiles, or in the doorways. Maybe you've got some cut ends of your laminate flooring showing. In this video, I'm going to show you how to finish off those areas. There's little details that make it look so good, like you've paid a lot for a professional to do it. Let's get straight into it. There's a couple of different trims that we can use. I've used angle trim in the past and I'm happy with how it looks. So this video is specifically about how to install angle trim. I suggest taking a piece of your laminate flooring into the hardware store when it comes time to select this angle trim. And that way you can try and match up the color or the grain. This is the closest that we've found. Now these lengths of angle trim come in 3.3 meters, which is enough to do one sliding door and one internal door. So first off, we need to measure all our doors. Measure the opening between the door jambs. Carry on around your house. Measure all your doorways and measure all your end cuts of laminate flooring or where your flooring meets a tile trim. We also need to look at our gap here. Hopefully you've followed your manufacturer's specifications as far as expansion and contraction goes. We've allowed a 10mm gap for expansion and contraction here, and just making sure we cover that gap, we've selected it's about 18 or 20mm edge strip, which will cover that gap nicely. There's a couple of different ways that you can cut your angle trims. You can either use a hacksaw and use a miter box too if that helps you keep your cuts nice and square. Alternatively, you could use an angle grinder. We've put quite a thin steel cutting disc on this one. This is what we're going to use in this application. Just remember to file off any burrs that are left behind on your angle trims. Just remember, when you're using power tools, use your safety gear as well. We'll just do a quick test fit of this trim we've cut, make sure it fits, and then we'll go and apply some construction adhesive and fit it in place. Now to glue this trim in place, we're going to be putting glue along the back edge of the trim. We never glue it down to the floorboards. So actually this bead of glue that we're going to put along this back edge, that gets stuck down or stuck against the aluminium joinery. That way your laminate flooring can slide with expansion and contraction uninhibited underneath this trim. So we're using a construction adhesive. If you're using this stuff, make sure you've got some mineral turpentine or some terps and a rag on hand, because sometimes it gets a bit messy. Remember, we're only going to attach it to this. We don't want to do any gluing on the laminate floor because this floor needs to expand and contract underneath the trim. Any adhesive that I've accidentally squirted out of there, I'm going to give that a clean up. Now that trim is sitting really nice and flat on the floor, so we can leave it like that while the adhesive sets. If you've got, sometimes this happens, if you've got parts that are slightly raised or it's not quite sitting flat, you can tape it down while the adhesive sets or put some heavy books on it. But that actually looks really good. So onto the next door. We've got this area in the hallway here where our new laminate floor meets a tiled floor. So this is the ideal place where we'd want to use those angled edge strips. So what we need to do is measure our doorway. We also need to check that we've got that expansion and contraction gap. We've got 5mm here. Because this space is only about 1 meter wide, we can expect 1.5mm of expansion and contraction. 5mm is more than enough. we're going to use that 20mm angle edge strip, just like we used on the sliding door. We're going to use that construction adhesive and adhere it to this tile strip. We never glue to the laminate floor. I've noticed, however, just over here, our laminate floor is too close to the tile edge strip. We're going to need to trim some of that out. I've used this multifunction tool with a timber or metal cutting tool on it, and we've managed to cut out about 5 or 6 millimeters of laminate floor, and that allows, well, now that's given us an expansion gap. Now we can put our angle trim over the top, knowing that our laminate floor can expand and contract underneath it. Just a really fine bead of adhesive along the back edge of that edge strip. Any oopsies, you just clean up with some terps and a rag. I'm going to need to tape this one in place also because it's just sitting a little high on the edges here. Oops. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. If you got something from this tutorial video, give it a thumbs up. I'm hoping that watching this video has given you some skills, some knowledge, maybe the courage to realize that this is a project that you can do at home and get professional results. And also the pride that comes with doing it yourself. See you on the next video.